So, can you believe a woman forged a will on Form Swift, convinced a court it was real, and tried to steal over $1 million from a dead man's son? And she almost got away with it. Yeah, that's what this story is about. It's a real case, real names, real consequences. When you mix grief, greed, and a little Google Docs magic. Today, we're talking about what happened after the death of Matt Jacobs, a man who survived fire on the ocean floor only to drown in betrayal on dry land. But before we jump in, just a couple of quick things. First, yes, I know. The last time I talked about this case was back in May. I fell off, life got to lifing, but I'm back now and I promise to be way more consistent because stories like this, they matter. They show us what can go wrong when we don't put our affairs in order and what people are willing to do when we leave behind silence instead of structure. All right, now the second thing. In case you missed it, the series has a new name, and so does this channel. So, welcome to the sidebar because this isn't the trial, it's the hallway whisper, it's the deep dive, it's where we talk about what the law says, what it means, and what really happens when folks think no one's watching. Now, with that said, let's reset the board. Matt Jacobs was the survivor. He lived through the Deepwater Horizon explosion, walked away with a scar and a second chance and a seven-figure settlement. He used that money to start over in Camden, Arkansas, and raise his teenage son, Jordan. Jordan Jacobs, his son and rightful heir, he's smart, he's grounded, he's 17. The light of his father's life. He stood to inherit everything until somebody tried to erase him. Enter Donna Herring, Camden's queen bee. Realtor of the year, always smiling, always selling. She sold Matt his house and then sold him on her daughter. Alex Peterson, who's 19, pageant trained. Sweet on the outside, not so sweet behind the scenes. She got engaged to Matt quickly, real quick, and she stood to gain everything once he was gone. Then we've got Carol and Chris Johnson, Donna's sister and brother-in-law, the so-called witnesses to Matt's will. But these weren't just family members. These were people who brought more than casseroles. They brought forged signatures. And finally, the will. The one that magically appeared in Matt's gun safe after he died, signed, sealed, and full of suspiciously perfect details. It gave almost everything to Alex and cut Jordan, his son, down to crumbs. The only problem, it wasn't real. They thought they'd gotten away with it. Matt was buried. The fake will had already made it through probate. Donna and Alex were living large, spending money they didn't earn, acting like grief wasn't even a factor. And then someone talked. And when law enforcement took a closer look, that fake will wasn't just suspicious, it was sloppy. Turns out Donna created the whole thing on Form Swift. Yeah. The site people use to download lease agreements, the documents metadata told on her, date created, timestamps, IP address, all of it pointed straight to Donna's house. And once investigators dug deeper, they found a full-blown script. Emails and text, coordinated lies. Donna's sister, the one who claimed she watched Matt sign the will, had also helped write it. That's not a witness, that's a co-conspirator. And Alex, oh, she was in on it too. She printed out the documents, she sent the text, she moved assets, and when she thought it might all fall apart, she hid the second copy of the fake will inside her own safe. Because nothing says innocence like a backup fraud file. These weren't grieving women, these were plotters, and now they were officially targets of a federal investigation. Wire fraud, conspiracy, forgery, obstruction, every signature, every keystroke, all part of the case file now. Donna was arrested, so was her sister, so was her daughter, and just like that, the former pageant queen found herself center stage in a courtroom, not a coronation. And the town, yeah, Camden was shook. People couldn't believe it. But finally, someone said it out loud. Matt didn't just lose his life. His memory was manipulated, his legacy was looted, and Jordan, his son, had to fight. Not just for what his father left behind, but for his father's name. And y'all, while all that's going on, let's just remember this. Right now, the National Lottery has hit over $1 billion. Still no winner. But everybody's out here buying tickets and dreaming. Here's what I want you to take from that. Whether it's a settlement or a scratch off, sudden wealth makes you visible. And when you're visible without protection, people notice, and sometimes people plan. Just like they planned around Matt, the moment he got that money, everything changed. People got close, people played nice, but behind the scenes, they were building a story. One where they came out on top, one where they didn't need permission, they just needed paperwork. This is why estate planning isn't just for old people. If you've ever got money or land or a house or a kid, you need a plan. Because if you don't leave behind a clear set of instructions, somebody else might write their own version of your legacy. And by the time the law catches up, damage is already done. That's what happened to Matt. And that's why when we see stories about lottery winners with no trust, no teams, no advisor, it's not just a feel good headline, it's a red flag. Sudden money can save a life or destroy one. Matt thought surviving Deepwater Horizon was the hardest part. It wasn't. The real danger came after the checks cleared, after the house was bought, after the wrong people got close. He didn't die at sea, he died surrounded by people who were planning his financial funeral before his obituary hit the press. So here's your legal takeaway. Money doesn't change who people are, it reveals them. And if your plan isn't clear, you better believe someone's got a FormSwift login and a reason to use it. You're watching The Sidebar. My name is Patience, and I'll catch you in the next episode.